Hello everyone, Helen here. Thanks for stopping by to see me again. It's lovely to have your company. And I've just got a short podcast for you today because I'm actually recording this in advance of going on holiday. And it means I can schedule it for a particular date while I'm away. So hope that's okay for you this week. And it's just, I'm just going to chat today about how I make my photo calendars, because for quite a few years now I've quite often made a calendar of photos of scenes starring little woolly characters of one sort or another. And the one I'm going to talk about today is one that I made for 2018, a sheep calendar, this one here. And the reason that this started was that in 2016 Yarndale were asking people to make and send in a little knitted or crocheted sheep, and they were going to sell them for a local charity. So I made a sheep, and of course I can never do just one of things, can I? And you only had to send in one sheep, so I sent off my one sheep, but then made a few other sheep, and then decided, I think I might use these sheep to make a calendar. And so I have this pattern here, which I believe you can still get. I think it doesn't say on it, but I think it was made by Lucy of Attic 24, this pattern. And it came with a pattern for a sheep and then for a coat that you could make for the sheep to wear. And that's really what sparked the idea of doing a calendar. So I'm going to show you all of the things that I had to gather together in order to make a scene for each month of the year. And then I'm going to finish off with just a flip through of the whole calendar and of me reading the words that I wrote to go with each month. So I hope you're going to enjoy that today and see all of the things that I made and gathered. So here's the front cover of the calendar, and I'm going to give you a quick flip through. But after you've watched this, I'm going to spend a little bit more time so you can look at the pictures properly. And before I started making the calendar, I wrote the poem, the words that were going to go to the calendar, a little rhyming couplet for each month. And then here you can see, so I've just taken the sheep through the year. And so in order to take the photos, I had to collect and make all sorts of bits and bobs, clothes for the sheep and little accessories, and then find different locations for setting the different months. So let's put that down. And so one of the things I needed was a shed for the sheep to live in. You can see that there. And this was from a pet shop. I think it's meant to go in a hamster's cage or something. So that's that. And the very first thing I did was to make the sheep. So here we have the mum and the dad and the two babies. And what I had to do to take photos sometimes was to use cocktail sticks, actually single-ended ones, just pointed at one end, and then I would poke them up through the feet. You might just be able to see in the front feet here, just to help them to stand. So those travelled together like that. And then I was very organised and put what I needed for each month into a bag, which I labelled. So let me show you what's inside these. So some bags are not very full. And I also did a little card for each bag so that I knew exactly what I needed. For example, I wanted some fake snow for January, so obviously that's not in the bag. That was just to remind me that I needed that. So what have we got in here? Yeah, we've just got one warm woolly coat and a scarf, because there was only one sheep in that scene. So that's January. February. Oops. That was the card. And oops, what have we got here? So we needed both of the adult sheep, and it was Valentine's night that they were representing. So a little pink one with a fluffy edging for Clover, and one with a bow tie for Ramsey. And what do we have? We had some little snowdrops here as well, which you might be able to see in the photo. I'm not sure whether they were visible. Yep, so that was February. And March. I'll try and do this quickly, but I don't know how long this might take me. So we had a coat for Ramsey with another bow tie, coat for Clover, and the lambs were born in March and didn't need any coats because they were newborn. And here are some beautiful little daffodils that I just stuck into the ground when I took the photo. So there we go, that's March. And I'm very tempted to have the sheep here and dress them in each of the costumes again, but I better not, it'll take far too long. So who do we have? We had coats for the lambs, because April the lambs were playing, so there was matching coats for the little lambs, and there was a couple of a bit of grass there. Oh, more grass. A couple of little rabbits to be jumping about in the background. Yep, and so let's see. May. What do we have for May? There's May's list. And then we had a coat for Ramsey. Had lots of flowers that were on the grass. Oops. Let's see, what else have we got? And of course, there was the May Queen who wore this coat, and the lambs wore these little lacy coats. I think that's what Clover had in her hair, and Honey and Cloud had these little garlands here. And then I decorated a little archway for that arbour. Right. Okay, then June. For June, we needed the shed for that one, and here's a sheep fleece that I knitted. I got a little model spinning wheel. I rolled a couple of balls of yarn to put into the photo, and there's a bow tie for Ramsey, but there were no coats being worn then because they'd all just been sheared. Okay, that's that box. And next we have July. This is July, you can see. Oops. So I made some little summer dresses for the sheep, the female sheep. There's one for one of the little ones, one of the twins. So there's their little dresses there. There's the duck who was allowing the sheep to use the pond. There's a little towel, a couple of towels there. I had a deck chair and all sorts of other little bits of paraphernalia to put by the pool. Oops, to make it look nice and summery. So that was July. And then August. What have we got here? Yeah, another coat for Clover and Ramsey. That's obviously Ramsey's because he's got his bow tie on. A couple of little sun hats. And little summer coats for the lambs there. And I did gather, well, for a couple of the scenes, I gathered a lot of straw to put down. There we go, that one there. And we have September. Oh, this was when Clover and Ramsey went on an outing together to Crook Hall. So they had their best Sunday outfits on, and a little hat for Clover, which has still got the pin in that I had to attach it to her head with so it wouldn't fall off. There you go, that was September. Then we have October. I love this one. So, whoops, so it bent that card. So some accessories to put around, pumpkins. Oh, this is what I wrapped the lambs in to make them look as if they were dressed up as mummies. And on the ground I laid some autumn leaves. I just stuck them all to a bit of felt. And oh, there was a little hedgehog appeared in the picture. And then we have a costume here. That was for Clover, and a witch's hat. You can see that. Then Ramsey was dressed as a pumpkin. And oh, this is a spider. A spider. Can't remember if he appears in the photo. A couple of tiny little pumpkins as well. So lots of lovely Halloween things. Oops, lost the pumpkin. Right, nearly there. We have November now in this bag. And November, let's see, we had, oh, the lambs and sheep were snuggled into their shed. So they've just got nice warm woolly coats, and the lambs have got little scarves, or neck warmers actually. Little cowls there. And finally, December. I've got a few costumes here. So this was to decorate the little shed. And yeah, holly leaf. And we had a little cart that Ramsey was pulling along. And Ramsey was dressed as a reindeer. So there was his reindeer coat and his little antlers. You can see those little antlers that are fixed onto his head. And there was a Santa coat for Clover. And then the two little ones had Christmassy outfits with little garlands for their heads. And there's a little present, a bit more holly. Yeah. And oh, and here, not to forget the tiny little red pom-pom that which is on a pin and which I stuck onto the nose of Ramsey so he would look like Rudolph.
Through the year with Ramsey, Clover, Honey and Cloud. It's a chill, snowy January on a hill by a farm, but Clover's thick coat keeps her cosy and warm. Amidst February snowdrops on Valentine's night, Clover's with Ramsey, the love of her life. March winds are blowing, new parents are proud, their twin lambs are born, welcome Honey and Cloud. April has come and the blossom trees sway, the sun warms the lambs as they frolic and play. Celebrate May with May Queen and princesses, with flowery garlands and delicate dresses. June's sunshine is warming, and down in the barn the woolly sheep fleeces are made into yarn. July gives hot weather, so Duck shares her pool with Clover and family who try to keep cool. In August the sheep help to harvest the wheat, while Honey and Cloud find a picnic to eat. It's September and summer is practically over. There's a day out at Crook Hall for Ramsay and Clover. October's cool days bring a colourful scene as the flock plan to celebrate Halloween. Foggy November, the sheep snuggle together, warm in their woolies and beds of fresh heather. December brings Christmas and lots of good cheer. The sheep wish you all a peaceful new year.
So there we go, that's my sheep calendar. And I hope you enjoyed seeing all of that and all of the work that went into it. It was an awful lot of work, and I don't do a calendar every year like that, but I definitely have plans for other calendars, and I think I would really like to be able to offer them for sale. So lots of friends have told me, oh, why don't you sell them? And I think I am probably going to offer them for sale at some point anyway. I'm not making any promises on that. But that's it. That's me for this week anyway, and I'll be back again ever so soon. But until then, take good care of yourself, keep nice and busy, and I'll see you soon. Bye.